Matt Reeves's The Batman is coming. We know that. Robert Pattinson's there, very big on that. They've got a terrific cast lined up across the board on that. We know he's going a little more gritty. We've already seen some kind of snapshots from behind the scenes taken. Well, today, as you can see from behind me there, today we've had the first official look at the official logo. What Matt Reeves released on Twitter is what he is calling the official logo of the new Batman movie, which we see there immediately, and some specific key art made by Jim Lee himself, who actually made some art for it that is supposed to be representative. Now, of course, this black and white drawing is not going to be in the movie, as far as we know, but a Jim Lee's iteration, if you will, of what we're seeing in this new movie. The logo there, I got to tell you, to me, the Batman costume is the Batman costume. I don't really care. As long as I can look at the costume and say, oh, yeah, that's clearly Batman. I don't really care. Some people, it's a big deal to them if is it black or is it gray? Or is it gray number 43? Or is it gray number 47? I mean, I don't really care, to be honest. And the bat symbol is another thing. I don't really care. As long as I can look at it and instantly identify it as the bat symbol. I don't care if it's a thinner one. I don't care if it's a fat one. I really don't care. It makes no difference to how good or bad a movie is. But I will say, when I first saw this new iteration of the bat symbol, which is reflective of some other versions we've seen before, I was like, yeah, whatever. But I got to admit, it is growing on me even more. And I think it's almost representative of the type of Batman that we're going to be getting. So, yeah, listen, all this is art, okay? All it is art. This logo and this Jim Lee sketch is not going to make Matt Reeves' Batman movie one iota better or one iota worse. I know that, okay? So I'm not saying it. All I'm saying is I'm liking this art. I think the art looks really cool and I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Aaron, it's funny when you look at fan bases because we get excited about the littlest thing.
Sure.
Like if there's a new Marvel movie coming out, ooh, Kevin Feige just tweeted out a picture of Thor's toe, woo, and everybody loses their mind and the same thing. But it is pretty cool when you get to start seeing your first tangible, evidence of life of a project we've been looking forward to. Anyway, you haven't had a chance to take a look at this art. What do you think of it?
Well, just to piggyback on what you were saying, it can also have the opposite reaction, such as the case of the Wonder Woman television show, where the sneak peek of Wonder Woman's costume pretty much made that pilot dead in the water. Here's what I really enjoy. I like the logo. I like it because it really gives us an idea that we are going dark, dark, dark on this. In fact, even the font alone for the Batman, but the bat itself is not so crisp as we're used to seeing. There's not a lot of clean lines. I'm looking like over your shoulder at the logo behind you. Right. And it almost looks as what I'm imagining when I look at that is someone who has clearly gone down a hole of insanity and in a schizophrenic rage taken a piece of charcoal and just done a sketch of a bat, and that's what I'm seeing here. As far as the costume itself, the only way that I can even see that it's the Batman is because of his little bat ears and his little, bat mouth. I hope he has an ability to speak, because the Christian Bale, when his face was like that the whole time. But I'm getting more Punisher vibes from this costume. Am I totally off base in that? He's got the look. I don't know. There's something more Punisher. Maybe it's even his Thomas Jane sort of gait. But the popped collar, I'm going to need to see this costume in action before I have more of a clear vision of how it's going to play out. I love the logo. I need to see a little bit more of the costume for me to really to get on board. Because like I said, I'm just getting some Punisher vibes, which shows me how dark they're going. And I love that angle. But I don't know.
Remember, the Batman himself went through a major metamorphosis, because there have been about 70 to 100 different iterations. But Batman himself went through his biggest metamorphosis in the 80s. I can't remember if it was the early, mid, late 80s or early 1990s, but I'm going to say mid 80s was when The Dark Knight, the famous graphic novel, came out that looked at an older Batman. It really changed the way, because in The Dark Knight Returns, it was this graphic novel that came out that fundamentally changed the way everybody looked at Batman. Suddenly he was this dark creature of the night.
And not Bam Pow.
And not Bam. I mean, they had changed since the Adam West days.
Sure.
They had evolved, but it was really that Dark Knight Returns graphic novel that kind of changed the way, and he kind of became that way. Now, sometimes we get iterations that are more reflective of that. Sometimes we don't. But it's going to be really interesting. See, we already have heard Matt Reeves say that they're going to investigate more into the aspects of the detective dimension of Batman, because of course he's known as the Great Detective. They're going to go more into that. They're going to make it feel a little more grounded and gritty. Anyway, how much this logo tells us, who knows? Maybe this is very telling of what we can expect from the movie. Maybe it's just a flat piece of art. But whatever, I like it. Question is, guys, what do you think about this new official the Batman logo and this Jim Lee accompanying artwork that goes along with it? I know it makes no difference to how good or bad the movie is, but I just think it's really good artwork. What do you guys think about it? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.